Now, new trend number 7. I don't know what the crash means to the marketplace right now. You know, I'm watching it very closely because I'm hoping that the market's going to rebound. The optimism, the excitement that's been growing among the investors is going to continue. But realistically, I know that this could have a damaging effect. Whether this is a crash that's going to have a depressing response upon response or not is yet to be seen. But everyone here, regardless of what that effect is, you need to make sure you concentrate on your database. In every recession and every market crash, investment marketers have gone to their database to be able to maximize profitability. You know, for everyone in this webinar, probably it would hold true that 20% of your customers represent 80% of your profitability. So any significant fallout of this core group could mean a serious hit on your sales, profits, and future, and it's always cheaper to market to your customer than to your prospect. You know, the truth is that in any bear market, market crash, or recession, those companies that increase their marketing are the companies that dominate the market when the recession or crash is over. They're the ones who are able to be successful in expanding their sales, usually by more than several 100%. So how do you do that? Well, look at part of this. The customer or the subscriber, you're making the sale. You're moving it to the client. That's a one-time buyer. The advocate is a multiple buyer who loves you, who's willing to send thank you notes, love letters. They're the greatest. And what your job as a marketer is to look at this database, move the prospects to a customer, move them to a client, move them to an advocate. That's your goal as a marketer, whether we have a recession, a bull market, bear market, stagflation, whatever we might have. It's relationship marketing, where through letters and emails and newsletters and zines and telesales, you're concentrating on that database. And you're doing that by having an action plan, where you're doing a retention series of emails and maybe postal and maybe some telesales to your existing customer base. You're having an electronic newsletter called an e-zine that goes to them. You have upsell campaigns, cross-sell campaigns. To the prospects, you have a conversion series. You have a series, and I'll talk about that in a second, that converts them to customers. You take a look at those old database leads. You take a look at the old former clients. Have you maximized your marketing to this group? We have found when somebody brings us these old database leads and former clients, we can turn what they thought was dead into life. We can turn what they thought was copper into gold because there's so much value there if you approach that group properly. Now, let me just give you an example of creating a professional direct response conversion series. This conversion series can be used in multiple ways. It can be used to, if you've got a lead coming in to a campaign, you want to have a professional conversion series. If you're at the money show or any type of investment show and you have leads coming in, you want to have in place a professional direct response conversion series. This type of series is quite powerful. And you have, for example, in this graph, you create a timing system, whether it's 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And it's auto response, so it doesn't matter if somebody comes in January or March, they are going to get the series. And it's independent of any telesales that you do, because a telephone salesperson could be bad. They could find that the person is not answering the phone, ignoring them, putting them off. But this conversion series gets by all that and helps the sales force. Email to prospects, you get clients. Direct mail to prospects, you get clients. Email to prospects, direct mail to prospects. You integrate a campaign that's carrying on a conversation independent of everything else, and you're going to increase your response. Of course, you always want to have a very powerful follow-up kit that follows the direct response rules. This is one for Jim Collins with Insight Money Management, showing a lot of copy, giving them the positive benefits of that investment. Here's a conversion series for VectorVest, of getting people in to a trial and then converting them to a full-term buyer by walking them through the series, by encouraging them participation. Here's a conversion series for people who have become subscribers to an expensive newsletter of Charles Payne, and a number of different series that you can see to create a buyer from his W Street Market Commentary. Another thing about the database is creating a loyalty program. For example, here's Pat McHugh. We've helped build Pat up to Canada's largest money manager and investment newsletter writer. And we launched a number of investment newsletters for him. Stock Pickers Digest, Successful Investor, Canadian Wealth Advisor, Wall Street Stock Forecaster. And so what we did is we created an upsell where people would be able to pay a greater amount of money to be able to get all the services, special reports, and some extra stuff. Priced is $625 if you pay for a full year up front, and then a discount automatic billing. And we've gotten thousands of people to go ahead and take this loyalty program and creating a program that secures that customer in the lifetime value. So smart marketers will focus on their database, but